Hello folks, I'm going to share a little bit about the MK Martin SB72 snowblower. This is our second season using it. I think I've broken more shear bolts on this year than I did last year, but we've also had dogs that have been dragging stuff around and it gets buried in the snow. You don't see it, you hit it. You know, they're chewing on big old cow bones and stuff. So just a little update, kind of 1 year later, now that we've had it and we're using it in our second season update and review. Still very pleased with it. I did really mess it up the other day. I hit a big chunk of firewood and that really bent this over, but it's still working just fine. I haven't noticed a reduction in its performance at all. So, and I've hit some pretty big rocks with it. I've hit some bones, I've hit a sheep skull with it, and it wasn't until I hit about, it was actually more than one piece of firewood, it was about 3 pieces of firewood I hit. The first one, it snapped and shattered into splinters. The second and third one got caught up in there, broke a shear pin, and bent over the auger here, the auger blade. So anyway, this thing has been working out just great for us. In a comment though on our last video on this, when I first reviewed this, somebody said you should have shown us how to replace the shear bolts. So there's 2 places that you can replace shear bolts on this. It just depends on which one breaks. I'm going to show you that right now. That was a great suggestion. Thanks for that. And I'm going to show you right now how to replace it. It's super simple. I've done it the hard way, I've done it the easy way. So let me share with you. The hard way is when it's attached to the tractor and it's all the way down, when it's attached to the 3 points in the back and you've got the 3 point all the way down so it's on the ground, that's going to make it so this doesn't line up with it. What you want is this protective cover here to be basically in line with the PTO drive on the snowblower here. That way you're going to be able to get your bolt in there. I'm going to have to take my glove off here, but you're going to be able to get your bolt in there a lot easier. You're going to slide this back in there and then push it forward into the where it lines up there. Let me show you the other place where you might break a shear bolt. And you can see the shear bolt right there, either side of it. This one is super easy to replace as well, and you don't have to have the rear 3 point in any particular position. You just got to line up the two arms here and stick the bolt back in there and tighten it up. The first thing you're going to want to do is, most likely, these are not going to be lined up when you break a bolt. This will turn all the way around. It'll articulate all the way around without the bolt in there. So the first thing you're going to need to do is get it lined back up just like so. You're just going to grab this auger here and turn that until it lines up for you. All you're going to worry about is getting that bolt in there first of all and getting it all the way through. And now, oh, there we go. I did get it lined up correctly. Sometimes you might have to kind of mess with it a little bit. So I'm going to hand tighten this until it gets to the little plastic locking part in there. And then I always carry my bolts. I carry extra bolts here. So let's see, I've got, looks like I've got 2 extra bolts for this and 1 extra bolt for this down here. So I'm gonna need to pick up some more here soon, but I always carry those back here in the toolbox, and I carry a couple of tools while I'm blowing snow, because chances are with the dogs that we've got, I'm gonna have to change one because I hit something that they've tried to bury in the snow. Like, here we go, here's a perfect example of this. I just got this hoof and threw it off where it'd be out of the way, and our dog Bella has drug it back out and is now chewing on it. And I will be snow blowing right here, so she may drop it there or bury it, and then I'm gonna hit it with the snow blower. So I'm gonna have to remember to grab that before I start up again. So now we're just gonna get these tools on there. I'm using a number 13 metric wrench. You can also use a 1/2 inch, but it's a little tight. So 13 is just right. All right, and we're gonna just make sure it's good and snug. Not anything crazy, just a little more than finger tight. And we'll be good to go again. As far as this thing, its performance and everything, compared to the last review, I've got nothing bad to say. I've got nothing really outstanding to add. I mean, it's moving our snow. It's doing a good job. So for what it is, for its purpose, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Not really a whole lot to add, just letting you know that a year later, and using it in our second season, we've gotten at least 6 or 8 inches of snow, and I've just been moving that. It's been drifting a little bit, so I've been moving that. It's really heavy snow this time, and it's been doing just fine. Other than user error, I've got no problems with this thing, even hitting some firewood and bending one of those blades up pretty good. It only bent the blade. The arm sticking out that supports the blade didn't bend at all. So it's good solid construction. It can even handle hitting a piece of firewood, but not 3. So avoid your piles, avoid blowing snow near where you've been cutting firewood for the winter. That's it for my updated review of the MK Martin Meteor SB72. It's been treating us really good, and I'm really happy with it. And now you know how to change a shear pin or shear bolt there in both places where it may break. I've broken it in both places, and it's just been a real breeze to switch those out real quick. I always carry them with me on the tractor, including the tools, so that I can pop out, change it out quick, and get right back to work. So the shear bolts, although they're small, I think are just the right size, just the right thickness, that it's gonna hold up to some pretty heavy stuff, but it's going to break when it needs to break, so don't be scared off by the size of those shear bolts. All right, so then we're just gonna do it like so. Yeah, that should be about right. I can throw that snow a little farther. So there we have it. I'm gonna get back to work and get some more snow moved.